right, so welcome back to another reaction video, and today what we're going to be doing is how Hoyoverse manipulated the gacha industry. Now, before we start, just make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you're new, don't forget to share the video, and also like goal is going to be 4 likes today with 4 new subscribers. 4 for 4. Let's see if we can get a 4 for 4. And I hope that in the video that the person actually do talk about what I think they're going to talk about, and I just want to see if they actually say it or not. But let's get to it.
Ah, the sweet smell of gambling mixed with sweat, tears, and a looming sense of fear of missing out. That is the essence of gacha. Back in 2017,
That is so true. I paused in 9 seconds in, but that is so true.
I remember leaving the theaters in mid-March with 2 friends after having seen the movie Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel Part 2. From the
You know, I have never watched Fate. Let me know down in the comment section below if I should actually watch the whole Fate series.
Fate franchise I very much enjoyed. And no, I surprisingly wasn't bullied in high school. In fact, I had been so excited for this movie that I had downloaded this neat little game called Fate Grand Order a few months prior because I enjoyed the franchise so much. Little did I know, that was the worst decision I would ever make. They had just added this super badass character called First Hassan, so I thought, what better time to start my first gacha game? I grinded as hard as I could, saved up my currency, and rolled all of it until I got a rainbow glow on his banner. I finally got him! Wait. He's not a Saber class servant. Oh no. I had instead gotten spooked by Artoria instead of First Hassan. This was my first encounter with the crushing feeling that gacha games can have on a person. While for some, this feeling simply causes them to uninstall the game, I was a rookie gacha player full of optimism, so I kept at it like an idiot. My full-time job at that point in time was watching VTubers and playing Path of Exile, so I wasn't about to purchase pulls, so it was back to the grind I went. However, by some divine intervention, my next 10 pull was First Hassan. I was elated, and I would ride this high for over a year of playing this terrible, garbage money sink game, which eventually ended when I spent an entire year saving for a character and failed to pull them. Fate Grand Order is basically the Diablo 4 of gacha. It's an easy target you can dunk on for free internet points, but a lot of people who do so haven't even played the game. It's just the gacha game boogeyman. If you talk trash about it, everybody just agrees. Even the subreddit feels like they went through every stage of grief and are in full acceptance mode that the game just sucks and won't get better. Fate Grand Order is an older generation of gacha. This game had no pity on banners until more recently, no packs you can buy in the shop other than raw currency, a 0.8% chance of getting the character you want, which are all limiteds by the way, and realistically you could save up for an entire year and not pull the character you wanted since there was no pity at the time. It also has no auto.
Yeah, didn't that happen to like a famous streamer? Like she saved up for years or whatever. She went and spent all of her pulls and didn't get the character she wanted. Still, I think was it Steak Song with an E? I can't really remember the name right now. I really can't remember the name.
Auto feature, long load times, no real account bind systems, you could just lose your accounts forever if you use a new device, and almost every character you pull is completely useless because it doesn't actually fit in your farm team, which is the only thing that matters. A Famitsu magazine interview actually previously said wanting pity on rolling banner characters was greedy of players. I love unbiased gaming journalism. Also, the gameplay, just wow. The most boring and rudimentary turn-based gameplay that's somehow more boring than an actual auto battler. And yet, somehow, this game is making millions a month with all of these downsides. We all know it's due to the hentai, don't lie. These horrible predatory gacha games were considered much more normal back then, and when you see some of what we have now, you may think that gacha has really come a long way, and are way more consumer friendly, right? Well, that's what I'd want to talk about in this video. What's considered the new gacha norm, the new generation, and how consumer friendly it is. Also,
I think I can answer that right now. All right, so new gacha norm is basically the new gacha norm is that you get either, to be honest, most of them you get a character and a weapon banner. Let's see, the weapon banner either going to be a 50-50 or a guarantee. The character banner is always going to be a 50-50. That will never change ever unless I don't know what will happen. We need miracles out here, okay? And then at the end of the day, you get enough currency to probably pull one character every 1, 2, maybe 3 patches, depending on the company. But at the same time, there is going to be some where you can get enough currency to do what you need to do, like Nikkei. But other than that, That's what I think the gacha space is like. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. It's either it's super free to play or is like free to play enough where it doesn't make you want to cry, delete the game, and uninstall.
So if you enjoy this type of video, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll be making more. September 28th, 2020, Genshin Impact exploded
You know, I always forget Genshin came out a couple of like days after my birthday. That's crazy.
onto the scene, and for the first time, a gacha game was in the mainstream. Many people who had never even heard of a gacha game played it without knowing the deep, dark hole that they were falling into of anime.
That was me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely real. That was me. I didn't really like. I played gacha games before that, right? But like, it was like what Brave Frontier or Knights Chronicle or Knighthood Chronicle, whatever that game was that Netmarble had, or I think it was Netmarble that had that. I was playing stuff like that, so I was like, oh, it's all right, it's whatever. I didn't really understand. You know, Seven Deadly Sins, when Seven Deadly Sins was actually pretty good. And I was like, oh, okay, this is about the stuff I play. But then Genshin came in, and then next thing you know, yeah, now I'm broke.
Waifu gambling. In fact, many of you watching this video probably started their gacha journey with Genshin as their gateway drug. First one's on me.
It wasn't me.
Now, some of what made Genshin so special was three things. First, it felt like a real game. It was a high production value game, one of the most expensive ever made, in fact.
Hello?
No, not you! Most gachas looked or felt like cheap phone games, and most people in the West would see a phone game as something similar to Candy Crush, or some game their mom would play on the couch. Not a
That is actually true. I didn't really think about that. They really did change the aspect of how a gacha game is like shown and made, because before Genshin, most people did think, okay, phone game equals little chibi avatars probably doing random stuff. That's what I would like. If before Genshin, I was like, oh, phone games, most of them are little chibi people doing random stuff, unless it's something like Epic 7 or, well, actually, to be honest, I can't say some of this work. Some of this work had the little chibis as well, right? To a point, is just that it wasn't really cheapified, like in the cute sense. It was just like smaller version of the character, right? Or most people that didn't play gacha games thought about freaking Candy Crush or freaking match games, basically, right? But then as soon as Genshin came out, everyone was like, wait, what? This could be on the phone, even though it killed your phone. And I'm gonna be honest, that thing killed your phone. It didn't at the beginning, but it started to the more they had updates. That's why I stopped playing on computer. But yeah, now most of these gacha games, they release on phone and computer, and on the computer version, it looks amazing. It looks like an actual video game. You get an actual video game for free that is still being updated constantly,
real
and wanting you to spend a whole bunch of money.
game, just a distraction. It had nice graphics, was welcoming of any age group. It even has a floating piece of meat that repeats the dialogue over and over in case your ADHD distracted you.
So, what you're saying is that Paimon helps explain what's happening to people who can't pay attention?
Shut up! It also had a PC client. Most gacha games at the time didn't have these, or if they did, they weren't really in the public eye and were.
And now almost every gacha game has a PC client, which I love so much. I hate when the gacha game comes out and it doesn't have a PC client, because it's like, now I gotta go figure out how to download it. And maybe I use BooStacks, maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe I go use whatever the other one called, Nexus or something like that. I can't remember the name of it right now. But I really do love that part of anything, that now all of them comes with a PC client 90% of the time, because now I can just download it from the client and I'd be good.
Were more small time. As with the previous point, many in the West wouldn't consider it to be a real game without it being on consoles or PC, and although most of Asia plays on the phone, it still gives the game more legitimacy as a real product, not something cheap. Secondly, it released during the pandemic, and as we all know, anything related to the internet was
This is what I was hoping that he talked about.
boosted heavily during this period, including mindless grinding and gacha games. Numbers on any social media and exposure on platforms like YouTube, Twitch were at an all-time high, which was perfect to boost this big new game. Lastly, the game had over $100 million in marketing, which, I mean, come on, that's an insane amount of marketing. It'd be
Oh, stop, he got the same mic as me. I just realized that. Hey, let's go.
a bit embarrassing if it didn't work.
What the f is this piece of shit?
You know, guys, I bought that game. Played it once. Never played it again.
Every time you opened a YouTube video on phone, you'd get a Genshin ad. However, if you got one on PC, why aren't you using an ad blocker? Now, Genshin was the beginning of what many may consider to be a modern gacha, or what sets the bar of quality. Many games are copying the formula and trying to make high-budget quality games that engage the player more than a junky phone shovelware game. Gone are the days of the low-budget scammy gachas that plague the market being the only choice. There's plenty of higher budget gachas since then, with more on the way because Genshin proved that gacha games don't have to be slop. We've set a new bar of quality and generosity for all gacha gamers, right? However, there is one very important part that we haven't mentioned about it: the gacha system. Now, there's always been many types of gacha casino systems. Ones with no pity, ones with carrying over pity, shards, a spark system. But when it really comes down to it, most of these in the past were scammy, unless they gave you a ton of free pulls. So what has this new age of gacha brought us? The 50-50 system. And let me explain why I think this system is one of the worst things to happen to gacha games.
Worse? Okay, hold on. We about to strap in this. Hold on, let's see. Because I think, me personally, I think the 50-50 system is, I mean, it ain't the great. The greatest system would be just 100% in general. But, you know, we can't have that for whatever reason. Or the system like Nikkei have, where you just, like, spend, you have a chance to get the character. If you don't get the character, you have generous rates. And you also have pity that you can spend on any manner you want, no matter what manner it is, no matter if it's a limited, or if it's a collab, and you can just spend it. You can just spend it, which I love the most.
Wait, come on guys, put down the pitchforks. Wait, just a minute, let me explain. Genshin Impact was so popular that many games have copied this very same pulling system. Hell, sometimes even the purchase denominations in the shop are the exact same. Honkai Star Rail,
Cat Fantasy,
Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, Girls Frontline 2, Reverse 1999. Hell, even the hentai gacha that I play has it. They can't keep getting away with this, damn it. How it works in Genshin.
you said what? I may have to check that out. Anyway,
is that every pull has a 0.6% chance of being a 5-star. However, realistically, this 0.6% chance is broken down into 0.3% of the banner character and 0.3% of a random standard character. After 75 pulls on the banner, you reach the soft pity stage, where every subsequent pull has higher rates until you get a 5-star that resets the counter, but the second 5-star pulled guarantees the banner character. Alright, so if you're moderately lucky, you may get them around the 80-ish pull range.
yeah, that's me right there. I get it every time. Every time it's around 80 pulls. I'm like, bro, why? Just give me it early. Why can't you give me at the 70?
But if you're unlucky, we're looking closer to 160 pulls. Now, I may have failed 4 math classes in school, but I'm pretty sure that's a lot of extra pulls. In a game that doesn't give a crazy amount of currency and isn't super generous, that's kind of an insane disparity all within a single coin flip. And don't even get me started on that weapon banner. But hey, surely it's better than the old days, right? Yes, absolutely. Some of the old gacha games can rot in hell, they were so bad. This system is surely better for the average gacha player. But what if that isn't really the case? What if the 50-50 system is actually much more predatory than we really think? Now, bear with me for a moment. Theoretically, if someone pulls for a character and they lose the 50-50, they'll be sad, but doesn't this also motivate them to spend more money? You see a light at the end of the tunnel and have recently gotten very unlucky and feel pretty low. You're only 1 pack away.
I will forever hate Chi-Chi. I just want to let that be known. Chi-Chi can go, you know that big cliff in Mondstadt? Yeah.
From the character with no 50-50 anymore. Come on, boy, you're almost there. You can do it. Psychologically, the 50-50 system can crush your mentality extremely hard, but winning that 50-50 and the hope of it happening incentivizes you to pull. It's almost like a gacha within a gacha. However, if they win the 50-50, they feel like they got really lucky and they're relieved, even though rather than being rewarded, they just weren't punished with the coin flip. Keep in mind, I am not a psychologist or economist or have any experience in the game industry. This is simple.
I'm gonna be honest. He's actually speaking facts here. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like he's really actually speaking facts here, because as somebody that did a lot of pulls before or any game, a couple of games, yeah, you lose that 50-50, you get depressed. The next thing you start taking, maybe I should just spend money for it. Maybe I should just spend. All I need to do is spend like a little bit more, and then I can get the character that I want. Maybe I should do that. Maybe, oh my god, sir, I lost the weapon banner. Maybe I should spend a little bit more to get the weapon. Then let's go. Maybe I need the weapon for the character, right? Is that how it works? But when you win, you're like, oh yeah, let's go. I'm happy. Let's get it. I got it. And then you log off for about a week and you never touch the game again. But anyway, no, it's about playing about that part. But that is true that's how at least my mind goes, start racing. But then I realized I'm broke. So
Simply my observation, but I believe it holds true for many players. I've personally had many people tell me that they either quit the game due to 50-50 or refuse to play games with this form of gacha because they think it's so predatory. Also, many who quit the system don't really matter to the company because they weren't going to spend money anyways, so the company doesn't really care. These players just uninstall and go to Rule 34 for the character they just missed. People will defend this system as,
well, if they didn't do 50-50, they'd have to increase the pity to like 140 or something.
but the company made billions of dollars from this game. I think they'll survive a more lenient pity, and Dawe can probably survive with only 3 yachts this year instead of 5. And some even say things like,
Well, it's better than FGO and no pity.
well, yeah, I'd rather be punched than stabbed, but that doesn't mean either is good. Just because you compare this system to the Diablo 4 of gacha doesn't really help your case when there's way better systems. Also, it's actually lower rate per poll than Fate Grand Order's 0.8%, which is kind of insane to think that it's worse in any metric whatsoever than a game that basically everybody dunks on. But this isn't a hit piece on Genshin Impact. I'm trying to explain how this became the norm and how the popularity of a game has normalized a gacha system that probably would have failed in most other instances. Since Genshin opened the floodgates of gachas in the mainstream, many have only experienced this system and don't have the perspective of other ones, causing everyone to kind of just accept it as the norm. It's similar to how games also copy other successful ones' UI because that's what players are used to and it feels normal to them. Many of you may not have played a game without this system. I'm also not speaking from a moral high ground. I participate in this as well, and I play these games and I sometimes spend money. We're all degenerates together here. What I'm trying to say is that we're all on the same side of a bad situation because us as the players are the ones to benefit by wanting better systems rather than defending a bad one. And all this together, the quality of games but the shift to a different dubious monetization, is what I consider to be the new gacha era. However, I don't really think I'm alone in thinking all of this. More recently, the game Snowbreak has actually added a secondary version of every banner that has lower rates per poll but no 50-50 nonsense.
yeah, that is true. I just really need to get back to that game at some point.
Which many players appreciated. Also, a newer China-only released game called Guilong Chao, I probably butchered that, got a ton of hate for using a slogan of "Say goodbye to MiHoYo Gacha," referencing the
That's crazy. They sending shots. They're sending shots.
50-50 system, not the games itself, which many players didn't like. Now let's also offer an alternative, and as I've played or looked into a lot of gacha games, what could be done instead of the 50-50 system? First, we have a game like Azur Lane, a cultural icon in the gacha community for sure. 7% SSR rate, they're practically flying off the shelves. The game makes most of its money from skins, and if you think about it, isn't that the best way because you don't feel the need to pay for characters or power in a PvE game? You paid a goon. Next, let's
Those are skins in that game? What?
look at Goddess of Victory Nikke. Wait, give me a moment. I'm still looking. Anyway,
I'm gonna be honest. I think God's Victory Nikke is the best one. In my opinion, out of all of the pity systems in the games that I have played, I think God's Victory Nikke is the best one because you got like a decent type of thing, but it felt like when you pull, you actually have a higher chance of getting the character that you want versus not getting the character that you want. But plus, you also build up pity. All you need is 200 pity, which is what, about like 20 10 pulls, I think. Which they also is generous enough and they give out a lot of pulls in the first place. So then you also can use that pity on any banner. You can say that pity unlimitedly. You can say as much as you want. You can use it on any banner you want, any character you want to get. And that's what I love it so much. Because you got a pity system that you literally can use this currency to buy any character, no matter what it is, no matter if it's a collab, the one-time only character, or a limited character, or a character that's only for anniversary. You can just spend the bucks to get it, and that's it. And it's always the same amount. It's not like, oh, this character is more important, so it gets a little bit boosted, right? It's always the same amount, and I'm pretty sure they make money off they got these skins as well because the gacha skins. No, that's the only bad gacha in that game. Okay, it's the gacha. the Gacha.
Anyways, this game has a 2% pull chance of the banner character and a 2%
Yeah, okay, so it's a 4%.
of a random SSR. Every pull gives a ticket that carries over between the banners, and 200 of them can choose a current banner limited unit whenever you want. It's really easy to own most of the characters for free with dupes just from pulling normally, as you'll get random SSRs all the time, but not feel punished but rather rewarded when you get them. I also extensively played Epic 7, and it has a system of 120 pulls with ample amounts obtained on the regular, made it fairly easy to get them.
Yeah, to be honest, Epic 7 actually is really generous. I just don't play it enough to see that, because I get on, I see new character I want, I pull, I end up getting character, and I'm like, let's go. I'm back off for another 10 weeks because they don't have a freaking, oh my gosh, I wish Epic 7 finally releases a freaking launcher so I can just download it that way instead of downloading it through BlueStacks or what's that other dumb one, Google Play Games, that doesn't allow you to download the games on a different driver because they just don't know how to figure that out.
The majority of characters I'd ever want, as long as I wasn't wasteful. However, the Mystic banner in that game is a little less friendly. You may disagree overall with these points, but these are just a few examples that could be modified to suit some of these games copying the 50-50 system and maybe improve upon it. Whatever ends up happening, I'll forever hate the 50-50 system, and I believe its introduction was extremely harmful to players and a step back in the industry as a whole. It isn't the worst system introduced of all time, but it has stagnated the market rather than pushing it forward and becoming more consumer friendly in this new era of gacha. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a bunch for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more, and I hope to see you next time.
Hey, this is the goon time. What the heck? This degenerate gacha went insane. I may need a we may need to react to this. Anyway, I actually, to be honest, this dude actually was pretty fire. I actually liked this video a lot. I'm giving it a like. That's 1.1k likes. I see why, because this video was actually pretty fire. Now remember guys, link down in the description for the actual video, so if you wanted to watch it or leave a comment on that, and you can leave a comment down here. Basically I want to know, what do you think is the best pity system in any game that you ever played? Me personally, like I said before, I think is what is it called? I think it's Nikkei, to be honest. But anyway, other than that, I'm about to get out of here. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and you don't forget to share the video or the other stuff. Just want to hurry up and get that out the way before I say what I want to say. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, he has some good points here. Like, I'm gonna be real, but I mean, the 50-50 pity system to me, I mean, obviously it's better than like no pity system, right? But then no pity system is like to a point, right? Like, I don't know, the way that Nikkei does it, I feel like is the best way to me, because it just works. Everything works. And then plus with everything also working, it just feels like, even though it's a low percent, like what you say 4% chance, it just feels like it's higher than that for whatever reason, because you always get the character. You could always, like, you pulling, you just randomly do a one pull, boom, 5-star appears. It's the character that you've been trying to get for the past couple of days, and it's like, it's crazy. But you know, not for me, because lately I've been getting screwed on them on banners, bro. I don't understand what's going on there. But then also you have that almost every character, almost guys, every character gets put into another banner that they give you a good amount of tickets for, that you can put them on a wish list to summon on that and hopefully get that as well, which is even more insane. I think Nikkei had the best one for the manipulation of Hoyo. Yeah, I think it's right, because like Genshin really popped off because, one, it had amazing graphics for a gacha game in a long time. Two, it came out during the pandemic and nobody wasn't doing anything, so everything got really like boost up there. Look, you got the same mic. We got the same mic. That's crazy. Yeah, but other than that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I already said this. All right, I'm out. Peace out, guys. I'll see y'all in the next video.